What is up, guys? DeAndre Hawk 7 here, and today, actually, I have to come clean. I have some stuff I need to talk about why I haven't been making broadcasts of Pokemon episodes. Well, something happened with my Spreaker where it wasn't letting me, do anything with my account. So, what happened was, I think, they said something about my Pokemon show, whatever, my Pokemon reviews were banned or something. I was like, what? So I just thought I left the app alone for a little bit and, just come back. I missed a few episodes, but I'm going to review on the latest episode I watched. I watched this last night, and, the review isn't going to be so good due to the fact that the sub was kind of horrible. The subtitles were horrible. I mean, some of the words didn't make sense and all that crap. But anyway, the episode I'm talking about is XY, episode 113, A Bride for Citron. Well, a bride for Clemont, Bonnie's s'il vous plaît panic. Yes, I actually had to look up the translation of what s'il vous plaît was, okay? I'm not really good with my French. So looking at the screen caps, Bonnie didn't drop her shtick. Won't she ever learn? Now maybe after I watch, I can determine most of what Bonnie's problem is and all that's going on. This was fun, of course, but I'm not sure how cohesive a story this episode made. Bearing in mind that my the subtitles that were used for this episode weren't great at all, so I may have missed some key scene or dialogue. So let's start off with the weak bits. The characters' motivations just did not make sense. Bonnie's nightmare at the beginning made me think that Clement upping and marrying is an ongoing fear of hers, which renders the s'il vous plaît habit very strange. But she then proceeded to do it and then get upset when Lillian wanted to pursue it and was happy when it ended, but then asked the next girl she met, "Just why, Bonnie?" I've always found the gag funny enough, but I've left the episode now feeling that the gag is over for me, and kind of wishing they'd never try to explore it in the first place. Then Clement, dang, I cannot talk today. Then Clement was okay with being eyed up as a partner by Lillian, and with being unceremoniously dumped at the end. What's the story with Bonnelby and Baneri? He seemed embarrassed and then happy, protective but relieved. When it was over, what? Did Lillian ever explicitly state that she was going to marry this partner? I know it's Pokemon and relationships move quick and a lot happens in 25 minutes, but I guess I just didn't understand the premise of this episode. Maybe I need to rewatch. I've been left with too many questions. The best bits were more bites of character exposition. As always, Ash doing the hard sell of Clement. Did he have any clue of what was going on? And Bonnie getting wound up by it. Clement and Pancham, the lads, trying to shoulder in on Baneri. Dedenne growing some balls and shocking Lillian. As for the Team Rocket Trio corner, no one knows how happy I am to see a pit trap. Also, by far the most romantic moment in the episode was James and Inkay nuzzling and staring into one another's eyes during blastoff. Let's not forget this gem. Okay, so there's like this little particular scene where they sort of over exaggerate Team Rocket's shocked faces, where they just look like old people for a minute. I'm glad to see Natsume still has it in him. That was awesome. It looks like Wobbuffet didn't appear in this episode at all, if its voice actor is credited. But anyway, it's a fun episode. I'm giving it 10 out of 10, and Iwane was in it. Or Iwane. I don't really know how to pronounce these names, so can't really blame me. This was a fun episode to watch, and Bonnie was so very jealous and that she doesn't want Clement to leave her. I really need some water, just like a bottle of water next to me when I'm reviewing episodes. The character interactions were great, but did they just have the proposal gag continue after this? What was the point of Bonnie's fear then? Also, Pancham and Chespin never failed to deliver. I love how, by looking at screen caps, they teamed up to try and break Bumblebee and Baneri. Those two are the best. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, any episode with lots of Bumblebee is a favorite of mine. He's such a nice guy. Didn't know how to turn Baneri down. Chespin and Pancham were also a great act. Loved the Dene too. But what was the context of that deviant art shot of Clement wrapped up in an arbok? But let's see what else I was gonna say. While this was a good episode, I am officially off the Bonnie bandwagon simply because she doesn't want Clement to leave her, but continues this gag of bride searching for him anyway. I cannot wait for her to be written off at the end of the series at this point. No sympathy left for her. The pros of this episode. Does this mean Chespin is male? Best Team Rocket battle in months. Wasn't even rushed either. And if you got, by the way, if you guys hear some vibrations in the background, that's my phone going off. The JJM face, that's guaranteed to become a meme. And the cons of this episode. No Wobbuffet? Much disappointment. Why did they only send out Clement, Pancham, and conveniently Bumblebee? I always forget his name. It would seem smarter to just send everyone out. Speaking of which, Ash's Noivern hasn't appeared since its debut. I thought Bonnie wanted Clement to have someone with him. If he actually has someone now, why is she complaining? Indeed, Bonnie is a hypocrite after this episode. Thought she'd approve of this proposal. And I quote. This episode was brilliantly hilarious. This is the old school slapstick that I always miss. The problem is that the end was really stupid. It makes sense how Bonnie gets all worried the one time a good potential partner for Clement shows up, but then after Lilia leaves, she just reverts to her old antics again. By the way, thank goodness Team Rocket didn't directly attack Luxray or the others near the cliff while they were rescuing Bonnie, because that would have been some serious shenanigans right there, bruh. Another great episode for Bonnie. I love that she actually made a episode focusing on her running gag. But darn, what a nightmare. Those little dolls are cute though. I Wonder if Bonnie actually has those in her real room. And all to Dedenne brushing his teeth with his tail. That was cute. And wow, what's with all these easily smitten Baneri? What the heck, Bonnie? You just had a nightmare about Clement getting married and leaving you, and you're already proposing again? Jeez, I guess she thought Lilia would say no. And actually, how the heck old is Lilia? Clement is clearly a child too, and too young to get married. Not to mention that she's considerably taller than him and the others, so she has to be at least a few years older than him, or just super tall. I'm confused as how she was actually showing interest in him. Maybe she just thinks he'd be a good business partner. I like how they showed some of Clement's inventions from previous episodes. Darn. Bonnie's fantasies are really weird, yet also hilarious. The heart aprons were so cheesy. I love how the Dene screamed after Babani. I'm screwing up names now. Bonnie's, what's it called? Bonnie's daydream, as if he'd also seen it himself. Bumblebee and Baneri were so cute together. Too bad Bumblebee isn't a ladies' man. Also, I was laughing so hard at Pancham and Chespin getting bashed together. After getting bashed after trying to flirt with Baneri. Though I found that a bit weird since Pancham didn't seem infatuated with her at the start, and even Chespin wasn't even acting that flirty. Now I wonder if they were just trying to help awkward Bumblebee. I love how she kept scooting over to Bumblebee. Okay, Bonnie's dreams are getting really creepy. Dedenne was wrong for shocking Lilia like that, but in a way I do like that he did it because Bonnie was so upset. But I was really laughing when Bumblebee looked like he was being forced on a date with Baneri. Normally I find it annoying with her trainers and their Pokemon, but I loved how the Dene mimicked so many Bonnie's actions in this episode. Cool how the bunnies sensed Team Rocket's trap. Unfortunate that Bumblebee and Lilia still ended up falling in. Okay, that Arbok thing? Bonnie is seriously weird. But honestly, Lilia is weirder if she's actually considering marrying Clement. Once again, the rabbits are the only ones sensing oncoming danger. At least the Pokemon avoided the trap this time. Okay, I know this was supposed to be for humor, but Clement definitely shouldn't have ignored Bonnie like that. I get that he was close to Lilia, but you think you'd want to save your little sister from being trapped in a hole? Before some stranger? Wow, the bandages had tracking devices. That's actually really creative. I just had like that OMG moment with Luxray not using Swift. What sorcery is this? Of course, Bonnie would be standing at the edge of a cliff. Well, good thing the Apom arm caught her. But of course now, of all times, would be when it decides to short circuit. And wow, breaks in using Fire Blast instead of Flamethrower. Okay, I had that oh wow moment when Bumblebee at least pretended to be sad over Baneri leaving. She was crying for Pete's sake. wow, once, like, just one missing screw and the arm blows up. After all this, I thought Bonnie would cut back the, um, on the proposing, but I guess not. Well, it's not like she ever did it that much anyway. Oh well. Anyway, very cute and funny episode. Could have done without Team Rocket, but overall nice. I'm surprised that some people completely missed the point. Bonnie actually doesn't want it to succeed at all. She is doing it to annoy the girls and achieve the exact opposite effect. As shown in the start of the episode, she is too attached to her brother to let him leave her. Of course, she would eventually grow up and out of that attachment. Jeez. But for now, she will continue doing so just to achieve the effect she wanted. It is, of course, a stupid solution, and who said Clement will leave her when he got married? It's all just the fear of uncertainty. You know what I'm trying to say. A trait that human beings had and still has, even after thousands of years have passed. And when a very aggressive approach surprisingly didn't annoy Lilia, she resorted to a negative approach, showing how immature she is, but then she is a kid after all. How could I blame her? Instead, I really think she did a good job in the end, as Lilia realized that how much she wanted her brother to be forever with her, and eventually left with a smile on her face. And in the end, the events actually left a very positive impression of Clement for Lilia. I love how every time I actually do like a broadcast or like a voice acting for The Adventures of Saber Smith or some crap like that, people then decide to like text me and all that. I am also surprised that, although only for a split second, Squishy actually gives a crap about what's happening. I thought I saw it wrongly and had to rewatch it just to make sure. They missed the opportunity to send Sylveon out here. Really? I am not implying that Bunnelby and Sylveon dating or anything. It's just that Bunnelby is actually comfortable around Sylveon. I would actually like to see Baneri get annoyed by Sylveon, as Bunnelby is talking with her more than to Baneri. I almost said Bunnelry. I don't know. My vocabulary always gets messed up when it comes to this. And Bunnelby is such a gentleman. Infinite respect for him. He even shielded Baneri when the net of Team Rocket falls on them. I love how they kept the consistency of his character. Somebody just give Baneri a top hat already. Or Bunnelby. I don't know. I just got the two mixed up in my head. I don't. What are they gonna say? Although he had the problem of not knowing how to turn down girls without hurting them, though. Overall, this episode did have writings that, although technically works and makes sense, it's clumsy and underplayed if Bonnie's intention is clear to more audience, or even have Serena realizing the matter going on. The message and Bonnie's motivation could have been portrayed better. Darn. I was looking forward to Bonnie episodes, as they were generally well written, but this is just weird. And definitely not written well, but I guess I appreciated the fourth wall breaking and Bumblebee's performance. It seems like this was more of a Bonnie focus than a Clemont focus, but she's the character who really learned something from the events of this episode, mostly shared between the two. I was a little disappointed in that regard, and we're long past overdue for an episode focusing solely on Clemont. Texting me, people. What was I saying? This was still a lot of fun. And the part where Clemont and Bonnie shared a long hug after Clemont saved Bonnie was adorable. That's all I have to pretty much say for this episode, say about this episode. So, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Spreaker if you guys want to listen to more broadcasts that I have, about Pokemon or whatever, and I'll see you guys next time. DeAndre Hawk 7, out.